Salut à tous, bienvenue pour une nouvelle vidéo sur la chaîne. Du coup, on continue le let's play sur Deadly Premonition 2. Alors, du coup, j'avais dit la dernière fois que j'arrêterais un petit peu les quêtes annexes. Là, je vais partir sur la quête principale du coup. Alors, du coup, c'était quoi? Ah oui, il fallait retrouver Patricia au poste de police. C'est pas très loin, je vais y lancer. Ouais, voilà. Du coup, au niveau des quêtes annexes, on avait déjà fait quelques trucs la dernière fois. Il m'en reste encore, hein, mais ça, on m'en occuperai plus tard. Je vais faire avancer un petit peu l'histoire principale. Découvrir tout ce qui s'est passé au commissariat, là. Pourquoi il a disparu, là.
Zach, it appears to be
Ah,
closed. Let's
bien.
come back during.
Ça, c'est ballot. Ça, c'est ballot. Il m'aurait quelle heure, le commissariat? Il vient juste de fermer en plus. Ouais, il ferme à 5h. On est lundi. Est-ce que j'ai un sac de couchage? Je me ferais bien dormir du coup dehors. Là. Ça m'éviterait d'aller à l'hôtel. Ouais, j'en ai un. Le problème, c'est qu'il faudrait que je dorme à un endroit où il y a un feu en fait. Pour éviter que mon perso il attrape froid. Est-ce qu'il y a un bidon dans le secteur? Il doit bien y avoir un bidon pour le... Allez, un petit bidon s'il vous plaît. Avec une mallette. Voilà, dans le parc. Aussi. Alors là, et maintenant, on va faire un petit dodo. J'ai pas regardé à quelle heure ouvrait le commissariat ici. 7h du matin. Ça, hein. Bon, normalement, il a pas attrapé froid. Hein,
Zach, how about we grab a
voilà,
bite to
j'ai juste
eat?
faim, c'est pas très grave. Je vais me reprendre un de sac de couchage. Ah, j'en ai plus. Non. Bon, faudrait que j'en rachète un. Alors, il est de quel côté le commissariat? Il est là. On peut sortir par ici. Ah, tiens. Ah, le bouton. C'est ça d'enchaîner les jeux. Après, on sait plus quel bouton correspond à quoi. Ouais, du coup, j'avais augmenté la vitesse du skate. Ça va bien, hein, assez vite maintenant. Simplement en étant en plus 2, il trace. Ça m'aurait été bien utile pour les courses.
Did you find Melvin?
Nope, I can't find either of them.
Either of them?
Yeah. When I went home, it wasn't just my daddy who was missing. Mama was gone too. This never happened before.
Zach, we need to stop Professor R's plan no matter what it takes. Relax, Patty. You don't need to worry about a thing. I'm sure that Melvin just stumbled across an important clue that's stolen his attention for now. And I'm sure he's protecting your mother while he's at it. Let's just leave the investigation to the local police and rest for today. I need to prepare a report for the HQ anyway. How about staying with me in my room until we find them?
But...
You don't need to worry. I can't make you any homemade food, but I've got a first-class chef and a first-class concierge at my disposal. Oh, and a very affable bellboy. It's a lot of fun at that hotel.
But... Okay, I guess. Thanks, Agent York.
You're a lady, so you take the bed. Zach and I will be fine on the couch.
Bon alors, bon, du coup, elle doit être avec moi. Ouais. Bon bah, allez, c'est parti. On va à la chambre d'hôtel. Là, je vais y aller en skate, hein, c'est pas très long. On va faire quelques petits ollies. Là-bas, je vois qu'il y a un point bleu. Ah oui, c'est l'autre qui se gare. Comme je vous disais, en fait, hein, ils ont chacun leur script. Selon les heures de la journée, ils font certaines actions. Là, du coup, on vient de la voir se garer là. Puis du coup, elle fait de la pub. J'ai déjà parlé, quand elle est comme ça, elle fait de la promotion pour son taxi. Alors, on va aller dans la chambre. Elle doit déjà y être, Patricia, vu qu'elle n'est pas derrière moi. Ah oui, elle doit déjà y être. Il y aura une cinématique quand je lance la partie. Non.
Zach, the Clarkson family tree is nothing like we thought it was. We need to reorganize everything we've uncovered so far.
Bon, du coup, on va aller voir les dossiers.
She fell right to sleep. Hey, Zach, I'm in a very difficult spot right now. I feel like this case is heading in a direction that will be extremely unpleasant for her.
Ouais, ça c'est sûr.
I've never felt anything like this during any of our cases thus far.
Ouais, vu qu'elle est mêlée à la famille Clarkson, je sens que son avenir va pas être très rose. Bon alors, continuons. Mettre à jour le tableau des relations.
First, let's go back to the beginning. Lise Clarkson's body was found hanging under a bridge in a deserted spot close to where the bayou meets the Mississippi. The one who fired the pistol at Heaven surely had no idea what he would find there. Speaking of which, Zach, Chuck, the man who started this race we're running, what's his That's right. He's a crawfish farmer. And after chasing a poacher's boat that crossed over into his farmland, he went up the bayou and was fortunate enough to find Lisa's body. I doubt it was a very pleasant experience for him. But if not for his discovery, Lisa's body might have started rotting out there. He's a difficult person to be sure, but I don't think he's a bad guy. Chuck said something peculiar. He claimed the Clarksons were a little better when their son was still around. I don't know exactly what he meant, but we ended up meeting the person he was talking about, didn't we? Under very unexpected circumstances. Leonard Clarkson. He ran away from home, found his true self, then changed. Zach. Do you remember her name? Helena Doman. The townspeople
Nouvelle
call her
identité.
Lena. She was also known as Professor R while she plotted against the Clarksons. She's the mother of the new drug known as Sang Rouge. She must have also had a group of followers who worshipped her fanatically. I can see it now. Lena sprinkling down the red powder, corrupting every last pure and innocent girl in town. Lena mentioned her plan each time we met. She must have taken us for utter fools, Zach. She thought she was always one step ahead of us, and that we'd never see the full scope of her plan. Well, her plan isn't complete yet, and I know we can still stop. That's why we need to learn all we can about her. Her alias was Professor R, and she was well learned in the areas of medicine and fire dynamics. By the way, Zach, do you remember what weapon Lena used to murder PJ?
Bah ouais, je m'en rappelle bien, vu le bordel que ça a fait.
Correct. She used a miniature bomb. To tell you the truth, she surprised me. That bomb was so well placed. It left hardly any damage on the building itself, yet still did amazing work on them. Lena should have used that brain of hers for something more productive than that saga of revenge. For example, reviving Lucare's economy from the Widen your perspective, and you'll see that Louisiana is an industrial treasure trove. With her intelligence and her charisma, I'm sure she would have found some amazing opportunities. Such a tragedy. Zach, there's one more important matter we need to think about here. Galena Clarkson, who was murdered in jail. Her body was dismembered, then rearranged into a V. Patty and Melvin claimed it was a severed roots killing. But that doesn't make sense to me. And PJ Clarkson disapproved of it when I met him in the other world. He saw Galena's parts lined up and was overcome by an inexplicable fear. Tell me, who?
Bon bah là, pas vraiment le choix.
Unfortunately, we don't have the answer to this one yet. And it's too big a problem to solve with mere speculation. The answer to this question may lead to a major turning point for this case, and the final turning point for this story. I only hope it doesn't push us down an avenue we didn't plan on exploring.
Et bah voilà, parfait.
Hey, Zach, do you remember PJ's last words? Lena had intercourse with her older sister. Her own flesh and blood. This means there's still one more person out there who inherited PJ's blood.
La fameuse déesse de la fertilité. C'est vrai que j'ai pas encore parlé à la base quand j'ai eu de la batterie. La batteuse, elle me dit rien, elle ne semble pas lui avoir parlé. À moins que ce soit Raven. Non, c'est pas Raven. Ah, si, c'est peut-être Raven en fait. J'arrive pas à bien voir vu qu'elle a une capuche et tout. Pas sûr que ce soit elle. Mais c'est un peu son style quoi.
Oh, fucking poachers, now I gotcha. Caught you red.
Les poils qui sortent du nez. Magnifique. Bon, du coup, on va peut-être pouvoir après utiliser l'hydroglycère. Quand ce symbole de Farmil Clarkson. Oula, c'est quoi ce truc? C'est des jambes? Ah oui. Oula. Elle pleure comme un bébé, c'est bizarre. C'est elle la mère de la déesse de la fertilité. Bon bah voilà, chapitre 2 terminé. En S, 43 heures, nombre de jours passés, ennemi vaincu. Hop, les bonus. Tirer sur des ovnis, élimination multiple. Ah oui, je suis rentré dans un piéton, ça.
Soon. I'm almost there. Just... Please, someone. Stop that noise.
Il s'est fait contaminer par la poudre rouge.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Let me try and summarize this. Helena Doman was the mastermind behind the entire incident. But Helena Doman was actually P.J. Clarkson's son, who had severed ties with the family. Helena was also known as Professor R, the mother brain behind the drug known as...
That's right.
She was responsible for everything?
Not everything, but almost everything went according to her plan.
But if you'd already figured out that much, why did you continue to stay in Le Carré?
Because we had to.
You had to.
The goddess was
The goddess.
the goddess of fertility.
Lise Clarkson's body.
Not her. She was as beautiful as a goddess, but she wasn't the goddess.
Then who is the goddess of fertility?
The person at the root of this case.
Is it some kind of metaphor? For example, the vast wealth that the red powder yielded.
The goddess of fertility embodied abundance on the outside, but on the inside, and that void was threatening to... Shut up! Shut up! Shut...
Are you okay, Mr. Morgan? Morgan almost sounds like a prophet talking about the end of the world. Vague, elusive, and intent on deceiving those. But every now and then he adds an interval of truth. Patricia Clarkson is one of those. She's something special. Instead of kicking your floor, perhaps it'd be wiser to invest in a soundproofing mat.
Are you irritated, Belle? Yes, of course you are. You think we lack a common human trait, and that bugs you. We're crazy. Human refuse. That's how we look to you, isn't it?
I would never go that far, but you did surprise me. Just doesn't seem like the kind of attitude one should display when in the company of others.
Yes, we're sorry. It just made us remember a time when that noise kept ringing out, and we couldn't stop it. That flight from Newark Liberty to Seattle Tacoma, it was the first flight we took as FBI. The plane was shaking violently due to turbulence, and when we looked to the side, we saw a young mother cradling a baby with a frightened look. We got worried, so we spoke to her. Then the baby started crying. It was so loud, we couldn't resist plugging up our ears. And since it was so loud, the rest of the passengers started glaring at us. At first, the mother and I waved our hands, but our efforts were in vain. The more our anxiety levels rose, the louder its cries grew, shrill and piercing, as if they were heralding the... We were powerless, and the baby's mother was helplessly bewildered. Once the plane landed safely in Tacoma, the baby finally stopped crying. We heaved a sigh of relief and looked at the mother. Then she said, "Whose child is this?" We were shocked.
What the fuck?
So we asked
Ah
her
bon,
what
elle
was
avait un
happening.
bébé dans les mains sans savoir qui il était, à qui il appartenait.
Apparently, sometime after she boarded the flight, that baby randomly appeared on her lap. Then, it ordered her to call me over, and kept sitting there. Can you believe that, Belle? Bizarre, isn't it? While we were talking, the baby disappeared. The being responsible for all that loud, grating noise. Ever since then, whenever I hear a baby crying, I remember that bizarre experience. Well, was it some sort of sign?
Eh ben, il est bien dérangé quand même.
I'm so close to finding out where she is. So close now.
You're still searching for Patricia, yes?
You don't need to worry about that. We're investigating. In fact, we've almost reached our goal. We just need to find some conclusive evidence.
Oh, we sincerely hope that's the case. Hard to believe, though. After all, so far you've just been...
Barking up the wrong tree.
That's right. You shouldn't be wasting time here. You should be out there.
Then I'll just ask you straight away. Do you know where she is?
No, we don't. But we can feel her when we close our eyes. It's very faint, but we can see her.
Are you trying to distract me again? Or do you really expect me to believe you're clairvoyant or something?
What do you think we are, X-Men? It's metaphysical offender profiling.
He actually asked me where Patricia is? Does he have full confidence that we'll never find her? Fine. I'll just ask him everything I can about the Le Carré. Professor R was a Clarkson, and also the mother of Saint Rouge. So you think Galena was murdered by Helena Doman, her own brother?
No, Galena was someone else.
Then who killed her?
It's written in the report, isn't it?
Yes. But would you mind answering me in your own words? You see, I find your entire story highly...
It's extremely
Low-fat vitamin D milk cartons. Why are they all lined up so neatly? This square area enclosed by milk cartons, is it another sanctuary? The more I look around, the more I feel like there's some sort of system to all this. The sanctuary on this table. The fireplace sanctuary. And the milk carton sanctuary. They all lead into the room back there. And there's one more by the window, and yet another by my feet. Are they signs? Or is this all some sort of
Hey, Belle. Is that a serious question?
Of course it is.
We line the milk cartons up to dry them out so we can turn them into Halloween decorations.
Halloween? It's only January.
This is America. Land of the free. Got a problem with that?
Ouais, c'est une fausse excuse, quoi. Il veut pas dire la vérité.
By the way, how did the FBI find Lisa's body after 14 whole years?
That's none of your business.
Are you saying they just happened to be investigating the Clarksons' cold storage warehouse? That there was some undercover terrorism?
I said it's none of your business.
Well, then we'll just have to get... It was an anonymous tip, a tip related to Saint Rouge. Did we hit the nail on... But that's not what we want to know about. After all, the FBI gets hundreds of tips every day. Right, my fairy? It was always that way. Here's what we really want to know. Why, out of all those tips, would you tell us that much? What urged you to make a beeline straight for the...
That's none of your business. Don't let him draw you into his game. Stay calm, Aaliyah Davis. Am I winning here, or... No. I need to stay positive. I have to solve this case, no matter what it takes. I can't lose courage here. The future influences the present just as much as the past. You asked me why I spent an entire 2 days observing you before I came to speak with you. Well, here's why. Over those 49 hours, I observed the intervals between your actions. When you were neither doing something nor I intently studied your intervals between action to action, and action to People reveal everything during the intervals between their actions. For example, when you eat alone versus eating with someone else. The most prominent differences always appear when someone either begins or finishes, and since these are unconscious actions, they can't be consciously hit. When you prepare to eat or finish eating, when you move in to clean up, when you pick up a book or close one, when you raise a cup of coffee to your lip. Human actions speak volumes. Not even the person doing the actions is conscious of them. That's what lies in those intervals. That's my modus operandi. And here's the conclusion it helped me reach. There's one other person in this house, isn't there?
You're incredible, Belle. You outdid all our expectations. Impressive, to say the least. You're right, Belle. But only half right.
Half?
You should still be proud, though. Honestly, we never thought you'd make it this far. You've got real talent.
If this goes to court, I won't let you claim that your testimony is inadmissible just because of your little indulgence there.
Fine by us. We can even put it in writing if you want. We won't run or hide. Will we, my fairy? Where's the paper? I know I had it around here somewhere. Where is it?
Eh ben, il est pas en grande forme, hein.
We're fine.
Hey, everything okay? What's going on out here? Oh, don't tell me.
He's just suffering from nausea. I was more worried about you. You were in there for quite some time.
Yeah, sorry. Ever since you got here, I've been all backed up.
Mr. Morgan, can you stand?
Oh. Is this a sign from the coffee? What could it be? What is it trying to tell me? Think.
Is that a dragonfly?
Footsteps. Big footsteps. Footsteps. Big footsteps.
Some odd fella was following her around, stalking her like.
That poor girl Lise, and she was into the really bad.
The Red Soul has the power to amplify the unique characteristics we all possess, mentally and physically. That's why I created the Holy Red Powder.
You okay?
We're fine. Just feeling a little tired. Would you take us to get our medicine?
Sure. It's in the bathroom, right? Whew. Seems like he's calmed down. We should let him rest for a while.
One more step and I could have cornered Morgan. But so be it. I can still keep investigating even if the owner of this chair isn't present. Simon Jones, what a piece of work. How can anyone have such bad timing? I didn't think he'd gotten this bad. I can't let him die on me yet. I need to get more clues out of him before his time runs out. Shouldn't you look after him?
I gave him his meds and let him rest.
Let him rest where?
In the bathtub. It happened to have a blanket and a pillow in it.
What? But
I don't know. Maybe he sleeps in the tub. I feel like I saw that once in some vampire movie.
I don't know what you're talking about. More importantly, how long has he been like that?
It's stage 4 cancer. He's had it for a while now.
No. I'm talking about his face. It looks as white as a sheet. You can even see all his veins. I've never heard of any cancer side effect like that.
Who knows? But now that you mention it, he started going really crazy around the beginning.
In what way?
He changed pizza places.
This better not be another joke.
It's not, really. Before December, he always used to order delivery from a Chicago-style joint all the way up near Medford. But one day, he took one look at one of their trademarked red boxes and totally lost it.
Red, huh?
You better believe it. He started screaming gibberish at the pizza boy and next thing I know, I see him toss the pizza box out his window.
Do you think that's when his fear of red began surfacing more?
Beats me. I mean, there isn't a better Chicago-style pizza place. How could someone give up on that just because they don't like the box?
Were you serious for even a fraction of that story? Whatever his goal may be, Morgan's gone to great lengths to survive. But no matter how hard he tries, the heartless monster inside of him will just keep devouring his body. When Katrina stole my family from me, I lost all hope. What is he hoping for? Why do you think he's trying to survive so badly?
What do you mean?
He who has a why to live can bear almost any how.
No. Please, just stop. I feel like my ears are gonna start bleeding.
Hey, Agent Jones, wanna know why I love Nietzsche's quotes so? I first discovered Nietzsche in a shelter after Katrina. At the time, I was shell-shocked. hopeless. How could a 13-year-old girl go on living alone with her little brother? Then, in that shelter, I met a college professor. His school was damaged by the hurricane too and got closed down. He also lost his family and was living there in the shelter just like me. So we gradually started spending more time together. I'll never forget the 3 months I spent with him. He loved Nietzsche. And out of all of Nietzsche's quotes, there was one from Thus Spoke Zarathustra that he repeated over and over again. Better know nothing than half know many things. Better be a fool on one's own account than a sage on other people's approbation. I thought it was a strange quote to hear from a college professor, you know? Why would he think it would be good to be a fool? But I understand what he meant now. He was trying to encourage my little brother and I, so that we'd be able to bear the weight of the victim label that was about to be slapped on, so that we could go on respecting ourselves without ever. After that, my grandmother in Lafayette took us in. That was the last time I ever saw the professor. But whenever I quote Nietzsche, my memories of him come flowing back into my mind, and they give me the power I need. So I'm going to keep quoting Nietzsche, just to make sure I don't forget my roots.
Oh, I see. Nietzsche is to you what pizza... Sorry for giving you a hard time about... You are free to go on quoting him whenever you want, of course.
Agent Jones. What the hell is wrong with you? How dare you compare Nietzsche with pizza?
Oh, come on.
N'importe quoi.
I wondered what sort of food he was eating. Why do they all love pizza so much?
What's wrong, Aaliyah?
Excuse me? What are you insinuating?
Well, you're staring right at an empty pizza box.
Please don't compare yourself to me. Besides, I have a
Hey! Pizza is a sacred food. You don't need to feel embarrassed for being unable to stop staring. It enthralls all who gaze upon it. That's the power of pizza.
Stop, Agent Jones. I've had enough of this sacred pizza bit. I'm sick of you Chicagoans and your obsession with pizza. Pizza, pizza, pizza. 24 hours a day. That's all you ever talk about. You gonna launch into a tirade about how deep dish is the only proper way to make pizza?
No, Aaliyah. You just don't get it, do you? As a Chicagoan, I'm proud of the deep dish pizza. But get this. I love New York-style pizza. It doesn't matter what kind of pizza it is. What? Still don't get it? Okay, here. I'm gonna put it in terms that I'm sure even you could understand. All pizzas are created equal. Eat your heart out, Nietzsche.
Just forget I mentioned anything. Agent Jones has been acting strange the entire... He told me he wasn't very good at dealing with suspects in person, but is he hiding something? Or maybe our suspect found some dirt on him. Either way, I wish he'd stop trying to drag me down with him.
Let me get one thing straight. You started this investigation based on an anonymous tip, right? What kind of a tip was it? Phone or mail?
What does that matter at this point?
This may surprise you, but these kinds of details really eat me up inside. I always get hung up on the most insignificant of details, especially during the most vital times. For example, you know how people go to bed early the night before they have a big job? That's exactly the time where I start focusing on meaningless nonsense. When did I last clip my nails? How long is my milk good for? I just can't help myself. It's just the way I am.
It was postmarked December 28th, sent out from Louisiana.
What did it have inside?
A postcard with a dragonfly on it, a wrapped sample of Sang Rouge, and a note.
What did it say?
Investigate the Clarksons. F.K.
That's it?
Yes.
Who's FK?
Anonymous tip, remember?
Did you confirm that?
Of course I did. Louisiana has a population of 4.5 million. The FBI database has a list of 6,682. 1 out of every 6 individuals is a child under the age of 14, born after 2005. The remaining 5,500 people include those whose initials changed after they married or incarcerated individuals. After subtracting those, I was left with 30. That's when I stopped searching for FK, and I decided to change up my... It isn't important where the tip came from. I got this far by taking the most efficient route possible. Are you satisfied now?
Yeah. Thanks. I feel a lot better now. Yep, it all checks out.
The letter that was delivered to me bore the Clarkson symbol. A postcard decorated with a dragonfly. A single sheet of paper ordering me to investigate the Clarksons, and... Professor R, the mother of this evil powder, is dead and gone. So then why are her demon seeds still being passed down? This drug has already taken so many lives, and more are bound to follow. It has to be stopped. A soft spot? He doesn't even understand the first thing about it.
Ready to spill the beans, Aaliyah?
I'm afraid of thunder. Happy now?
Katrina? All right.
Good.
No. Now that I think about it, that doesn't really qualify it. What I'm looking for is more... How should I say it? You know, something that would make you blush. This guy... Please, I'm begging you.
I love... They're just so cute. I can't resist them. All I need to do is look at a picture of one and... I mean, the way they look, the way they're shaped, the color of their fur. I mean, even down to how they only eat eucalyptus. I just love everything about them. Once I get some time off, I'm gonna travel to Australia and hug one for real. That's one of the top 5 goals on my lifetime to-do list right now. This... So many records. I guess it doesn't matter what kind of person you are. That's one of the reasons why music is so... Who collects vinyl in an age like this when you can stream just about anything?
True. Morgan's got refined taste.
You really think so? Now, even I thought they were cool back when the vinyl revival first started. But now, every suburban mall has its own vinyl shop right next to the novelty store. At this point, it's become a solid component of modern snobism, which only makes them that much more uncool. People who know nothing about real music are buying them up just so they can decorate their walls with cute album art.
How do you ever have time to enjoy anything when you're always so busy putting people down?
Excuse me?
Et il était
You're like
direct. Là.
IBS. You keep flaring up at the worst times and there's no end in sight. And when you're alone with Morgan, it's just an all-out war zone.
We're in the middle of a very important investigation right now. Don't you think we ought to take it seriously?
To me, it just looks like you're putting yourself under a lot of stress for... Why can't you, show a little humanity once in a while?
Does one need humanity in order to track down criminals?
Yes, one does. Or at least I do.
Well, I don't.
Come on, Aaliyah. I'm your partner, aren't I? For a few days, at the very least. I'm your invasive partner who has a passionate relationship with pizza, right? Why can't you just let me in on one thing you actually happen to... No, aside from Nietzsche.
You know, I'd really rather not.
Why do you always have to be so withdrawn?
I can't help it if there's certain things I don't like.
No, come on. There's got to be some kind of music you enjoy. This is a good chance to teach me a bit about yourself.
I said...
Do you like Justin Bieber?
Too cute. Not my type.
Drake?
I've only ever listened to the hooks.
Well then, Ariana Grande.
Hell no! Am I done now?
Well then, what do you like?
Ugh. I have to tell you?
Yes, you...
Pink Floyd.
Bien. C'est pas tout jeune, mais c'est bien.
No way. You're a
Progressif.
prog rocker? Who turned you onto it? Your dad?
As far as I can remember, I've loved prog rock ever since I was born. That's just how music works, right? I mean, The Wall is by far my favorite album. Even to this day, I find it hard to believe that they made that in the 70s. It still sounds completely fresh and unique, as if it was just released yesterday. What?
No, I was just thinking, I wish Morgan could have been...
Don't you dare.
J'arrive pas à sélectionner les trucs à gauche, là. C'est quoi ce bordel? Partie d'échec, oui, je peux la regarder.
Judging from what he's told me so far, my fairy isn't his chess partner. That being fulfills a different role within him. So who's he playing against then? Who would be a good match for him? Agent Jones. I don't know why, but it just does. You really think he was playing chess all by himself?
I don't know. I definitely think...
How?
Maybe he's remembering the strategies an old friend of his used to use. If it's someone he played for years, he's probably capable of recreating their playing style. And besides, Morgan's beaten a grandmaster before. You know that, right?
I read about that in the Greenvale report.
Even a computer can play chess these days, right? I'm sure that a grandmaster level player would have no trouble emulating someone else's strat.
Whose chess strategy is he emulating then?
So, why did you decide to take this case?
Because it's my job.
Really?
Why not?
You aren't just following orders here. You've got way too much emotion invested in it. Some kind of special emotion. There's no use trying to hide it. Despite how I may look, data analysis is my forte. I don't mean to be nosy, but would it kill you to confide in me a little? I didn't manage to live this long simply because I'm fiendishly handsome. We're going to be tiptoeing across a thin line of legality with the rest of this case. So that way, at least I can back you up when you need...
There exists in the world a single path along which no one can go except you. Whither does it lead? Do not ask. Go alone.
You're pulling out Nietzsche at a time like this? Come on.
I have a little brother. After overdosing on a certain drug, he was thrown into rehab. He's been clean for 2 years now, but he still won't utter a single word. All day long, he's plagued by hallucinations. He can't tell if he's dead or alive, if this is reality or if it's all a dream.
Sang Rouge.
That's right. The doctor can't tell what's causing his condition, so they can't treat him. He just told me to prepare for the possibility that I may never get my brother. This was his. I bought it for him after he graduated high school and found a job. He never got a single chance to wear it, though. Someday, I believe that he'll get better. And I'll get to see him put this on and head out to work.
So you think that if we nab the person behind all this, we may figure out how to conquer the addiction?
Right.
You really think it'll be that easy?
I don't know. But I can't just sit around and do nothing. He's the only family I have in the entire...
What about your parents?
When I was only 13, Katrina took him, leaving my 7-year-old brother and I behind.
So...
Now I'm just working as hard as I can to complete the duty I've been given. Hey, Agent Joan, I just want to double-check one thing. You didn't find anything in the bathroom.
Nope. Nothing in there.
It must be the bedroom, then.
Are you serious about this?
Huh? Now you're having second thoughts?
Well, not exactly.
Then what?
I understand how you feel, but he's got an incurable disease. And he used to be one of us.
So? The truth he's given us so far could all be completely fabricated. He's a genius lone wolf agent who solved nothing but difficult cases during... That's what they told me at Quantico over and over again. I had to listen to them talk about how no one could ever... Let's be real here. It was inhuman. It looked like the face of a killer who's been possessed by death. Patricia Clarkson is here, in the next room. After 14 years, he went back to Le Carré, kidnapped her, and he's trying to complete something big right now. Something that's deeply connected to Saint Rouge.
N'importe quoi. What the fuck?
What is all this?
Mais il est là, il dort dans le lit. Je croyais qu'il était dans la baignoire.
Pictures of people from Le Carré. And this wall is dedicated to Greenvale. All the deceased have been... Sheriff Melvin Woods? Lise Clarkson?
Avec la plante au niveau du ventre.
Where's Patricia?
Bah, elle est pas là, hein.
That's our altar. What are you doing?
York! Agent York! York! Agent York! York! Agent York! Hey! Agent York! Agent York? Hey!
Mais où est ma barbe?
Hey,
Hein?
Agent York.
What the fuck? Ah, il rêve, d'accord.
You're Lise Clarkson.
What's wrong? You're acting weird.
Sorry, Patty, I'm fine now. More importantly, do these red seeds come from some kind of plant that grows around this area?
I don't know. What do I look like, a botanist?
This isn't your average backwoods town. The Clarksons' ego and control has been piercing the town's heart like a massive dinosaur bone. But over this past century, time has been busy eroding the beast's power from within. And now, the very thing that once fortified this town is polluting it with putrid gas and rotten marrow. Zach, this is the point where it all collapses.
Alors, bon, retour à le carré du coup. Il faut trouver des indices. C'est par là qu'on rentre.
This altar is covered in burn marks, but there's hardly any residue left. There's no way for me to tell what was burned here. I could send it home for analysis, but is that really necessary? It'll just end up giving Abrahams more busy work. More importantly, Zach, someone who knew how to manipulate fire was behind all this. In other words, these roots prove that Lena was here. The growth is all missing from the... It wasn't just cutaway. She used fire to burn it out. Everything was planned so meticulously. Is it that's why Chuck ended up discovering it? These bridge beams have a very unique shape to them. One straight support in the center, reinforced by V-shaped columns coming up diagonally. Did this bridge always look like this? Oh well, I'm sure it has nothing to do with this case. Let's move on with the After Lise Clarkson was murdered, her body was put back together here, just like how Galena's body was dismembered, then rearranged within the holding cell. Lena Doman and PJ's bodies were also blown to pieces in the end. Perhaps that's the nature of the curse that's taken hold of the Clarksons. What do you think, Zach? Is there any significance to these similarities? There's some decomposing cloth. We saw the same type of cloth at the sugarcane plant. They must have used that cloth when they transported Lisa's... But who cares about mundane evidence like that? This isn't a case that can be solved by gathering the kind of evidence we'd need to... Zach, this is an ominous sign. Among all the different footprints here are a set made from engineer boots. Yes, I know. He probably only made them when he came to inspect the scene. I'm sure that Patty and I left our own set of prints here too. But how do you explain the set that's inside the yellow tape?
Ah, Chuck qui arrive avec son aéroglisseur, avec son hydroglisseur.
Hey! FBI!
Peut-être pouvoir utiliser l'hydroglisseur maintenant.
You already solved the case, yeah? So go on! Get your ass out of town!
Why do you think I solved the case?
Shoot! Exactly how stupid are you, FBI? Every feller in town already knows that Professor Orr's the one behind all it.
Hey, Chuck. Can you see the altar from there?
I'd see the whole damn, along with your stupid ass standing there, trying to act all smart and shit.
You told me that the poacher's boat you were chasing disappeared around this area, correct?
Yeah, that's what I said, all right. What, you forget already? If you're just gonna waste our tax dollars out here, least you could do is catch them goddamn poacher. Fucking FBI, go and make yourself useful for once in your damn life.
Chuck, we don't chase down fishing boats. Unless it's a terrorist boat that plans to overthrow our government, that is.
Then stop acting all leery, like I ain't being truthful or whatever. I'm busy too, you know.
Zach, he just taught us what the true purpose of this altar is. It was built here so that the ritual could be watched from a boat in the bayou.
What do you mean? They could have just walked out here. There's no reason why they had to watch it.
the goddess of fertility, Patty.
Ah, nouvel oracle.
The goddess of fertility. A fine name indeed. So much blood has been shed. Yet you remain in this town. Surely, you know why.
Of course I do, Hungan. My work here isn't finished yet. You know, I could really use one of your oracles right now.
You're more fun than I thought. Here's the oracle you ask for. Listen, speak to the 17 comrades who saw the birth of New Orleans. Feel the holy Allah. The giant lady's finger points down toward your goal, the entrance to the...
Poetic and graceful as ever, Hungan.
Alors,
Those oracles are leading us toward the core of this case. That's the one thing I'm sure of. But don't misunderstand, Zach. I'm not blindly following him. I only follow my intuition. Metaphysical offender profiling. The 17 comrades must refer to some area that has 17 of the same thing in it. We may need... That's it, Zach. The French established the colony of La Nouvelle-Orléans in just about 300 years ago. The only 17 comrades that would have been around back then are the 300-year-old oak trees along a majestic road lined by oak trees. Come on, let's go ask these sages of Lucare for some help on our investigation. Zach, the Holy Allah is a shockingly simple metaphor, especially considering the quality of the oracles we've received thus far. It seems as if Hungan's poetic muse is finally running dry. The great thing about us Americans is that we can recreate our homeland anywhere. We're happy to transport crunchy bacon across the deserts of Africa if we need to. That's what it means to be American, and this Holy Allah is just another example of that. From the early days of the frontier era, they've been helping us Americans be what we've always meant to be. That's it. I never doubted you, Zach. The Holy Allah refers to a water tower, specifically that water tower with its Clarkson family crest. It must be hiding some sort of clue. Let's fill the Allah and see what it yields.
ben voilà, parfait. Nos deux prochains objectifs.
Zach, what do you think the giant lady's finger is? I'm at a loss. I never thought one of Hungan's childish riddles would force me to think so hard. But, oh well. I'm sure that as we deal with the rest of the oracle, it'll reveal itself to us.
Ok, bah, allons faire les deux autres alors.
Listen carefully, Patricia. As my skilled assistant, I trust you a great, so I want you to answer me honestly.
Answer what?
Do you have any idea where Melvin might have gone?
No.
He didn't seem to be acting or talking differently than usual?
No.
Okay. Zach, we have a lot of work to do. It feels like we're finally approaching the climax here.
Ben voilà, parfait. Un truc à récupérer par terre. Là. Hop. Bon alors, qu'à remonter sur la route là, puis je vais utiliser le taxi pour aller jusqu'aux chênes. Alors, du coup, bah c'est ça les chaînes, hein. Je crois bien. Cette rue ou cette rue? Non, cette rue. Ouais, ça. Donc il doit y avoir quelque chose par là. Ah là-bas, il y a, sur la carte, il y a le marqueur rouge. Je n'avais point vu.
Zach, do you sense that? These trees have watched over this land for the past 300 years. Long before the Clarksons built up their town, these trees were... If they could speak, I wonder what they'd have to say about this case. Has there always been a different number of trees on each side?
Yeah. I heard that by the time our town came along, they were... A general from the South might have cut one down during the Civil War.
Intriguing, Patty. Why did he...
I don't know. Folks say he planted a red tree in its place. I don't know if that's true or not, though.
Zach, the shape of these seeds. They look just like the ones we saw at Lisa's altar. Patty, it appears that legend about the red tree wasn't a total lie. The first tree is withered and gone, but the shells from its seeds remain. Perhaps that red tree left some descendants somewhere else.
Qu'est-ce qu'il veut, le petit dalmatien? Il veut me montrer quelque chose? Eh ben, on va te suivre.
Zach, he seems to know something that we don't.
Ah, je me rappelle que dans le premier Deadly Premonition, il y avait un
Doesn't it
mec
seem like
avec un
he's trying to
dalmatien.
guide us somewhere?
Je sais pas comment il s'appelait.
What? What's going on?
Change of plans, Patty. Let's go on a little stroll with that Dalmatian.
Ça se trouve, il va nous mener à ce fameux personnage du 1. Allez, petit dalmatien, on te suit. Si je mets le skate, il va peut-être pas apprécier. Je prends le skate comme ça, je peux faire des ollies. Ollie. Voilà, comme ça on optimise le temps de jeu. Là. On fait la quête principale et en même temps on va avancer la maîtrise du ollie pour l'autre quête. M'amènerait à l'arbre rouge qui est près du lac. Je me rappelle qu'il y a un arbre rouge le long du lac. Je me demande si c'est par là-bas qu'il m'amène. S'il tourne à droite là, ouais, il y a une chance que ce soit là-bas. Là on le voit à droite, l'arbre rouge. Oh, des arbres qui apparaissent au fond. Puis ils apparaissent de façon magnifique. C'est donc bien ça. C'était bien cet arbre rouge.
Is this the red tree that General planted?
No way! This is a maple tree.
A maple tree? Then it shouldn't be red at this time of year.
You're right. That's strange. A long time ago, my mama and daddy used to come here. They told me they used to go on dates here. Back before I was born, Mama would make sandwiches. Then they'd come here and eat them together. My mama was really pretty, you know. When I was a kid, I believed she was a real goddess. Under the boughs of a legendary tree that stayed red all year long, one man managed to win the heart of the most beautiful girl in the world. And they call him Melvin Woods.
N'importe quoi. De quoi il va
Looks
m'en
like it's
ailleurs.
time to move on. What a fantastic guide we managed to find. He actually waited for us to finish talking before taking us on to the next spot.
Effectivement, il est bien élevé. Ah, je me grande bouton. Bon, ben, on est reparti pour les hauts lits en folie. Il fait quoi? Il tourne en rond. Il a dû croire que j'étais pas derrière lui. C'est vrai qu'il a commencé à faire demi-tour. Bon, il en a pas marre de zigzaguer là, il pourrait pas aller tout droit à l'objectif. Bon, après du coup je pense que j'irai au château d'eau, là je finirai la quête du château d'eau et après apparemment il y a encore une autre partie pour la quête principale. Et je pense que du coup j'arrêterai avant l'autre partie, j'irai peut-être faire vite fait des trucs annexes. Aller faire le skate là, essayer de voir si elle me file une autre figure et un autre parcours. Et puis il faut que j'aille au bar aussi parce qu'au bar il y avait comment dire comment il s'appelle, il refilait une autre quête. Simon, je crois qu'il s'appelait. Le serveur du bar. Vu que j'avais bu ces 7 cocktails là, j'avais eu... il m'avait filé quoi déjà? Je me rappelle même plus, une perle je crois. Ouais, je crois qu'il m'avait filé une perle. Et du coup, apparemment il file encore une autre quête après derrière. J'irai à son bar quand il est ouvert pour lui parler. Là on est mardi donc ce sera bon. Normalement il sera pas en concert. Il est en concert que le soir normalement. Le vendredi et samedi soir. Hop, bon bah voilà, on a atteint l'arbre. Oui, c'est un vrai arbre rouge.
Hey, Patty. How would you rate this creation?
Not bad, I reckon. They made good use of its natural form, while also pulling out the soul from within. The artificial color also looks pretty. You don't usually see this level of harmony. Something unnatural always ends up getting left behind.
Zach, did you catch all that? She sounded just like the curator of an art gallery in New York. I think we may have just uncovered a new side of her. But unfortunately, I can't see anything artistic about it. Honestly, it looks insane to me. That's all I get from it. And there's no way that this is a descendant of the tree that the general planted.
Ouais, donc le chien, faut qu'il m'emmène à un autre endroit encore. C'est bien ça. Pourtant, il ressemblait, hein, je pensais que c'était le bon arbre. Mais apparemment, c'est un faux arbre. C'est une œuvre d'art. Donc, il est où ce dernier arbre rouge? Je me rappelle en avoir vu plusieurs dans la ville. Au total. Donc, le dernier qu'on va aller voir, ça doit être le bon. Non mais il se fout de ma gueule le chien. Ah, pas besoin de faire demi-tour, je suis derrière toi hein, mon gars. Tu m'as peut-être un peu semé mais je te vois toujours. Sous le pont. Ouais, t'es parti où le yinche? Moi je peux pas traverser là le yinche. C'est pas possible pour moi. J'arrive, je te rejoins de l'autre côté le toutou. Alors. Est-ce que je le vois toujours d'ici? Ah, il est au milieu de la rivière. Il est là. Il est bien là, le petit doudou. L'effet de texture qu'ils ont mis pour faire le bord de l'eau, hein, c'est très bizarre. Artistiquement, c'est assez chelou. Il est parti où? Ah là-bas. J'ai eu peur, je l'avais semé. Bon, il m'avait semé. Oli, oli, on fait des olis. Holy shit. Allez. Non, je croyais qu'il allait dans la ruelle, mais non, il m'a feinté. Ah bah non, il m'a bien feinté, il allait bien dans la ruelle, mais la celle d'après. Allez, tourne avec ton smearmark là. C'est parti où? Passer dessous, c'était sûr. Juste pour démontrer que le fait qu'il y ait des ouvertures sous les portes, il y a une certaine utilité dans le jeu. Là, on vient de le voir. Eh là là, moi il tourne en rond un petit peu, j'ai l'impression, le lien, non? traverser la rivière là, il aurait pas pu venir directement par là au lieu d'aller dans les maisons et après tourner. C'est un peu par là l'arbre rouge. Parmi ceux-là. Le clébard, c'est assez chiant. C'est déjà suffisamment long comme ça et pas besoin de le faire zigzaguer. Oh, des trucs à récupérer au pied de l'arbre. Ça serait peut-être utile pour améliorer les colliers et tout. Amulettes. Non, ça me fait penser qu'il va falloir que je me concentre sur améliorer l'amulette de bowling pour réussir à faire le dernier défi qui me manquait là pour devenir le successeur de la championne de bowling. Après, il faut que je vérifie si le placement que j'utilise pour envoyer la boule et si c'est le bon placement ou pas pour envoyer la quille taper dans les autres quilles à droite. Ouais, est-ce qu'il va ce chien? Ah ouais, d'accord, des fois en plus il se perd, c'est pas mal. Ouais, donc voilà, on va voir pour le bowling. Il me reste le skate et puis aller voir le mec, le barman. Faut que je refini les deux petites quêtes là, les deux quêtes principales, je vais faire celle-là. Après, tout dépendra de l'heure qu'il est quand je finis la deuxième quête principale. Les champs de canne à sucre. Je m'en rappelle pas. Ah, en plus, il passe à travers les champs, lui, il s'en fout. Là, c'est bien ça, il zigzague. Il aime zigzaguer pour faire perdre du temps aux joueurs. Petit gars là, je suis juste derrière toi. Ah si, là-bas au fond. Du coup je peux pas aller là-bas et l'attendre là-bas. Je vais attendre qu'il m'y mène. Vas-y, tu peux aller à droite là, c'est bon, il est là. On est au dernier moment. Voilà, ça s'en est. Alors, est-ce que c'est le Red Tree? Ouais, ça ressemble. Ouais, c'est celui-là.
Zach, now this is interesting. It looks like a tree that you could find anywhere, yet it's also unlike any other, completely alien. And look how it's weaved its way into the landscape. Almost like cancer cells invading a human body. You might not even notice it unless you're focused on finding it. and this feeling. As I gaze upon this tree, I can feel evil emotions rising out from within me. Why on earth did that Southern general bring this tree into this town?
Non, n'y touche pas, Patricia.
I promise to protect you from all the evil in our world. Do
Ouais,
not
ça, c'est une
touch
chose
this tree.
mauvaise.
Got
alors,
that,
évite.
Patty?
Got it, Agent York.
Voilà, parfait.
We successfully spoke with the 17 comrades. I feel like they showed us a side of nature that transcends the realms of human knowledge. Next up is the Holy Allah. According to the Oracle, the Holy Allah needs to... We may be due for another childish puzzle soon, Zach, but that's okay. After all, we came all the way out here to the boondocks. Why not enjoy playing by their rules for a bit? Did you notice anything strange before your daddy went missing? Did he seem different from usual, or say things that didn't make sense?
Nope. He was the same as always. We talked a lot. I reckon he was in a better mood than usual. Almost even too talkative.
Zach, she's putting on a strong face, but it's clear that she's very worried. Let's try and cheer her up a bit. What's the best thing to say in times like these?
You don't need to worry about me, Agent York. Let's just focus on the work we have left to do.
Unfortunately, it looks like your parents disappearing is connected with this case somehow.
Yeah, I know.
Melvin seems to love you so much. It's hard for me to believe he would just disappear and leave you all alone. Something must be afoot here. I wish I could tell you I'm sure they're okay, even without any evidence. But I hate lies, Patty. I can't guarantee that they're safe. That's my honest opinion.
I'm trying to prepare myself for it, but I want to hope that they're okay.
Of course. Zach and I feel the same way, but if you happen to think of anything that might help, please let me know. Even the tiniest piece of information could end up coming in handy.
Yeah, I understand. But I really don't know anything. I just feel like I know that Mama's okay somehow.
Meaning?
Even when we're apart, I can always tell how my mama's feeling. You know, like how twins can sense each other's feelings? But that's it. I can't tell where she is or what she's doing. Besides, I'm just a kid. Can't really trust what I'm saying, can you?
Zach, it seems like she and her mother possess some kind of secret bond. But we shouldn't try to force it out of her. Yes, you're exactly right. Let's just keep our eyes on her for now.
Voilà, parfait. Ouais, donc le souci d'elle.
This thing sure looks tall when you look at it up close. But why do they gotta build it up so high anyway?
The height gives them the necessary pressure to pump the water out. Also, building it in a spot where anyone could easily access it would only create more problems.
Problems?
In a certain Missouri town, they built the water tower low enough that a person could easily climb up to it. And that's exactly where a mass murderer decided to hide the bodies of all his victims.
Sympa.
The water tower was so low to the ground that he could even climb up to it while carrying a dead body on his back.
Il les balance à l'intérieur de la réserve d'eau. Bah, super.
Incidentally,
43 victimes.
they ended up finding a total of 43 bodies.
Si elle est vraie cette histoire ou pas.
But the part that truly shocked Zach and I wasn't the number of bodies, Patty.
Ouais, non, si
What?
parle de lui, c'est que ça doit pas être
It was the fact that over the 6 months from the first murder to when the case was solved, that whole time, the townspeople
Bah ouais,
had been
il buvait
drinking
l'eau
the water.
contaminée. Super.
Agent York! Look! I think we can climb up from there. Let's go.
But Patty, I was just getting to the good part.
So this is our town. Looking down on it from here, it's hard to imagine any bad stuff ever happened at all.
Listen carefully, Patricia. You just leave Melvin to me. I promise I'll take care of things. You're grown up. You're more of an adult than anyone else in this town, I guarantee it. But that doesn't mean you have to suffer through everything without ever saying a word about it. Just remember that, okay? Zach, it looks like the holy Allah hasn't been sucking up water properly. No wonder the shower in our hotel room felt so weak. Patty, who manages this water tower?
This is Lucare. You should know the answer to that by now.
The Clarksons. Judging from their current situation, I don't think they'll be able to give us a timely response.
Yeah.
Do you know where the water comes from?
Probably Isaac Lake?
That
Ah, ouais,
settles it.
d'accord, c'est là-bas.
Let's fill the holy Allah and solve this problem ourselves.
I knew you were gonna say that, Agent York.
Bon, du coup, est-ce qu'on continue la quête principale? Ouais, allez, on va y aller. Jusqu'à ce que je trouve un endroit où il y a une... comment ça s'appelle pas un téléphone là-bas. Je crois qu'il y a un téléphone. Ah oui, si, il y a un téléphone sur le mur. Comment ça s'appelle faire la quête principale jusqu'à ce que ça me propose d'aller dans une nouvelle singularité en fait. Parce que je sais que quand je vais dans une singularité, c'est la fin du chapitre en fait. Donc à ce moment-là, je partirai faire les quêtes annexes avant. Donc on va continuer la quête principale en attendant. J'ai vu, je regardais en attendant vite fait un peu les quêtes annexes et j'ai vu qu'il y a le prêtre, il faut encore retourner le revoir. Est-ce que j'ai vraiment besoin d'utiliser un taxi pour aller en dessous? Non, je peux y aller en skate. Il y a quelque chose au pied du poteau. Hop. Qu'est-ce que je voulais dire déjà? Le lac il est là-bas. Ouais, du coup, il y a le prêtre, il faut retourner le voir. Apparemment, il faut répondre à des questions. Ouais, c'est une autre série de quêtes qu'il propose en fait. Mais je m'étais pas rendu compte qu'il en donnait d'autres après celle qui est la première série qu'il m'avait déjà donnée où il faut avoir des effets, des altérations d'état, pardon. Et se faire soigner quoi. Donc, je pensais qu'il proposait que ça comme quête, mais non, apparemment il en propose encore d'autres derrière. C'est un système de questions-réponses, il faut répondre à la question. Bref, donc du coup il y a ça, il y a le skate, la nana allait revoir pour le skate, et le barman aussi. Ah oui, et puis il y a aussi, comment ça s'appelle, l'aéroglisseur, savoir si je peux l'utiliser maintenant ou pas. L'hydroglisseur, à chaque fois je dis l'aéroglisseur alors que c'est l'hydroglisseur.
Isaac Lake?
Je sais très bien qu'hydro c'est eau et aéro c'est l'air, hein, mais à chaque fois je me gorge, je dis aéro au lieu d'hydro.
When he retired, they built this lake to commemorate his... That's why it's called Isaac Lake.
They wanted people to remember the power of the Clarkson family every time they used their water, huh?
You sure don't miss a...
The water level's higher than I expected. They probably haven't been out here to check on it since Lise was murdered.
I bet that's where the water gets sucked up into the water tower.
Ah, croco.
Mr. Alligator, never thought I'd have to use you to fight a real alligator. Just what does that skeletal gentleman have in mind for us, Zach?
ils ont fait sortir tous les alligators de l'eau pour me bloquer. Oh, le temps de rechargement. Allez, recharge! Mais ils vont me l'envoyer à l'infini, celui-là. Là. Peut-être que j'avance. Ah, à chaque fois, il ressort. Hein. À chaque fois, ils me le font sortir. Je vais y aller en mode esquive. Hein. Allez, hop, esquive, hop, esquive. Hop, esquive. Faut que je fasse gaffe qu'il puisse toujours courir. Hop, esquive. Hop. Hop. Et il court. Et presque. Allez. Yes. Bon, du coup, je sais pas s'il faut les éliminer ou pas. Mais... Je pense pas, vu comme elle est arrivée en courant là. Je pense qu'il faut passer en courant. Avec ses balles en caoutchouc là. Ah bah dans l'œil.
Open the door, Patty!
Effectivement, il a pas dû apprécier dans l'œil.
Now, Patty!
Quelle mise en scène! C'est magnifique! Attraper la boîte. Ah non, loupé. Lui, il y a moyen qu'on le revoie plus tard, à mon avis, l'alligator avec l'œil crevé. Moyen qu'il vienne se venger plus tard. Ah bah oui. Bon bah voilà, du coup on arrive à destination. Je vois autant de crocos autour, alligator. Je vais juste refaire une petite save ici, profiter. Alors du coup... Non, faut juste monter, c'est tout.
Okay, Zach. Let's head back to the Holy. We need to confirm with our own eyes that we've completed the skeletal gentleman's oracle.
Bah voilà, parfait. Je vais juste regarder le journal. Non, pas ça, le journal vie. Voir au niveau des quêtes, ça monte, ça monte. Ouais, à chaque fois ça déverrouille une nouvelle quête, c'est tout. Je vais essayer de voir si j'avais moyen d'avoir un point de repère pour savoir combien de quêtes il restait avant la prochaine singularité. Mais apparemment non. Bon, j'espère qu'il y aura moins de crocos cette fois-ci. Je vais y aller en sketch, je crois, ça va bien. Château d'eau. J'en chie le jeu. Ça saccade, c'est... Ouais. Encore une fois, je me répète, hein, mais je sais vraiment pas comment ils ont codé leur truc. Comment ils ont organisé leur code. Ça a l'air d'être catastrophique.
Zach, the holy Allah is filling up. Looks like we'll be able to take a warm, invigorating shower tonight. Patty, are you okay?
No. Not really.
Worried about your parents?
Well, of course I am. My mom is sick, and she got even worse starting about a year ago. She used to be so beautiful. But now she looks like a completely different person. She can't even get up out of her own bed no more.
I'm sorry to hear that. I already hurt you once in the past, and now it looks like I've gone and done it again.
No, I know Mama's illness ain't your fault, Agent York. It's more about Daddy.
He won.
Nothing. Just forget.
Hey!
Ah.
I said get down here, goddammit!
God damn it!
The heir to the Clarkson legacy has come for us, Zach.
You rotten little snakes! This is private property, goddammit! I guess you really do want to throw down with a Clarkson, huh? Get out
Il
here!
est bourré ou quoi?
I could arrest you for
Yeah,
drunk
boy,
driving, but
boy.
I simply haven't got the time.
What? What did you say? Ever since you got here, my whole... You came here to destroy the Clarksons.
Satan? Not quite. I'm just an agent carrying out a mission in accordance with federal law. On the contrary, I came to put a stop to all these problems. You might even consider thanking me for it.
Federal. Did you hear? Bastard wants me to thank him. At least,
You reap what you sow.
God damn.
Whether you like it or not, you're the new heir to the Clarkson legacy. You could rebuild their empire, or resign it to the ravages. Do whatever you like. But you'll no longer be able to borrow a certain someone's power and march around like you own this town. You need to accept that and prepare to survive.
Nouvel oracle? Non. Il se regarde dans le ciel.
Zach, it's no. The skeletal gentleman is a strict one, that's for. We're going to have to figure out what the giant lady's finger is if we want to continue on with this oracle. Lady's finger. I'm at a loss, Zach. The only thing that comes to mind is a certain lady in glasses who displayed her middle finger to the student driver who was driving the car that Leslie Nielsen jumped into in order to chase down a criminal. 1988, directed by David Zucker. That car chase was terrific. It felt like we were watching one of our own car chases. That director must have gotten some advice from actual police officers. Otherwise, there's no way he would have been able to film such a realistic chase.
Hey, Agent York, can I say something?
L'autre, elle en a marre de me
If you're
voir parler
looking for
tout
ladies'
seul.
fingers, you know
Ah non.
that's another name for okra, right?
L'ocre.
Another name for okra?
Yeah, okra's pretty common here in Louisiana, so most people know about its other name.
Huh. Okra. You solved the oracle and... Let's hurry over to the okra farm at once, then, and find the biggest piece of okra while we're at it.
Hey, Agent York.
The key word is giant, so it must be rather... I'll bet it looks positively grotesque. And just imagine the stickiness. Ooh, I think I'll refrain from taking a bite.
Hey, Agent York! Our town doesn't have an okra farm.
No?
Relax. Just follow me. I reckon I know where...
Bah voilà. Après avoir suivi le chien, on va suivre Patricia. On va repasser en mode skate. qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Hey,
Je l'ai
it's
semé.
York. Stay
Ouais, c'est
close
ça.
to me or I'm not gonna...
Elle m'a semé. Je reste près de toi, t'inquiète. Ça te gêne que je sois en skate? Non. Ah putain, je suis trop loin encore. Ouais, tais-toi, c'est bon, là, je te suis. Ah, au moins le chien il me saoulait pas quoi, il avançait et puis je le suivais, c'était parfait. Quand il voyait que j'étais un peu loin, il faisait demi-tour là et puis c'est bon. Il faut la coller sinon elle nous gueule dessus. Allez. Putain, Panda, mais tu cours bizarrement, cher Patricia. T'as les jambes qui partent un peu bizarrement. Qu'est-ce que c'est que cette animation de marche là? J'adore, c'est comme on voit parfaitement que le truc suit un script. Quand elle change de direction, c'est brut quoi. C'est vraiment hop, tu passes à 80 degrés, hop, tu passes à 60. C'est des jeux qui nous rappellent qu'on est dans un jeu. On n'a pas besoin de... Niveau immersion, c'est bon quoi. Le jeu nous rappelle en permanence que c'est un jeu vidéo. Enfin bref, c'est pas très grave. Après voilà, maintenant que je joue depuis un petit moment, au niveau de mon avis sur le jeu, voilà, j'aime bien, ça me fait plaisir de retrouver l'ambiance avec York et tout, le côté loufoque, etc. Mais je le trouve vraiment moins bien que le premier quoi. Oh putain, je suis trop loin encore.
This way, I know.
Je suis vraiment, ouais, je trouve que le premier était mieux ficelé, c'était moins prévisible aussi au niveau de l'histoire. Là, on arrive direct, on nous met en lumière les Clarkson et du coup on sait parfaitement que une bonne partie du jeu va se passer autour de leur famille, de leur histoire, machin. Alors là, il reste un dernier point d'ombre apparemment, un dernier meurtrier qu'on n'a pas encore trouvé. Donc ce sera peut-être quelqu'un qui n'est pas des Clarkson justement, je sais pas, c'est peut-être Melvin, j'y crois pas trop mais bon. Enfin bref, on va découvrir qui c'est exactement. D'ailleurs je me demande, la dame qu'on a vue dans le bateau là, qui pleurait comme un bébé et qui avait l'air d'être intubée pour respirer là. Je me demande si c'est pas la mère de Patricia en fait. Et que justement elle s'est fait... elle est sur un bateau actuellement et Melvin, je sais pas s'il est avec elle ou pas. Mais c'est l'hypothèse que je me suis fait par rapport à ce qui se passe dans le jeu quoi. Vu qu'on n'a toujours pas découvert qui était la mère de Patricia, on sait pas où elle est. Il y a eu un sous-entendu comme quoi Patricia, bon, c'est plus qu'un sous-entendu, hein. Patricia serait la fille de PJ Clarkson, là, celui qui avait changé de sexe. Et puis sa grande sœur, en fait, la grande sœur Clarkson, qui serait justement la mère, là, celle qu'on a vue qui est allongée dans le bateau, qui est malade. Voilà, c'est ce que j'ai analysé quoi, par rapport aux éléments que j'ai.
This is the giant lady's finger, Okra Boy. He's kind of like the town mascot.
Okra Boy. You're right. No matter how you look at him, he really... But Patty, there's no okra farm in this town, is there?
That's right.
Then why did they choose okra for the town?
Good question. He's been here for as long as I can remember. Daddy said he remembers Okra Boy being around when he was a kid.
The plot thickens. Zach, doesn't it look like he's pointing at something?
Ouais, il pointe vers
Let's
le bas.
follow that white glove.
Est-ce qu'il pointe la maison? Ouais, il doit pointer ce bâtiment.
Patty,
Parfait. Entre 6h et 23h. Pour une fois, je suis à la bonne heure. Ouais. Apparemment, on peut faire bouger le pont. C'est peut-être pour ouvrir la barre, la
so
grille
this
qui est juste
used
à
to be
côté.
the control device for the drawbridge, but it
Ah non,
looks
c'est
like
bien
its
pour le pont.
insides have been replaced with something else.
Oh, yeah. I remember Daddy telling me about this drawbridge hasn't been used for decades now, so the control room doesn't work, and the power's been disconnected.
Ah, elle t'a dit qu'il n'y avait plus de courant, c'est un appui. Ouais, donc c'est juste pour voir la barrière à côté, quoi.
A password that requires 3 letters?
Password.
Looks that way.
What's this, then? There's an H on the top, bottom, and left sides of the leftmost panel.
Patty, trial and error won't get us anywhere. There are 26 letters in the alphabet, which makes for
Ouais, voilà, ce que j'allais dire, ça fait beaucoup de
17,576
combinaisons quand
different
même.
combinations. Let's try something more efficient.
I know that. I was just fiddling with it. So, what do you want to try, Agent York?
Just leave this to Zach and I.
Alors, trouver le mot de passe. Ouais, je veux bien.
Zach, this password may look complicated at first glance, but you needn't worry. This is a chemical formula. A challenge from Professor R.
Ah
The
bon?
H that's tattooed all over the leftmost panel stands for hydrogen. In other words, the leftmost panel represents the molecule you get when 3 hydrogen atoms merge. All we need to do is figure out which chemicals go in the remaining panel. Try reviewing what we know. We spoke to the 17
L'hydrogène.
comrades who saw the birth of New Orleans, filled the Holy Allah, then found the giant lady's figure
H2O.
pointing toward the entrance to the Forbidden. After we met the 17 comrades, we encountered that ominous red tree. There was sap dripping out from the red tree's trunk, wasn't there? That must have been a metaphor for wood vinegar. Then, in order to fill the Holy Allah, we went to the reservoir. The water tower represents a distillator, and the water represents coolant. Wood vinegar, distillator, and water, Zach. Figured it out yet? The chemical formula is CH3OH, methanol. It's got to be COH, starting from the left in that order. Methanol is highly flammable and used as the base ingredient in
Ouais, du coup,
formaldehyde.
il m'a donné
It
la
says Professor
solution
R's
direct.
name written all over it. That oracle really sent us on a roundabout mission this time. It almost feels like we're playing a video game here.
Ouais, bah, fallait le trouver, ça. Ben voilà, c'est déverrouillé.
That must be the entrance to the Forbidden, Zach.
You can't touch that.
Ah bon, qui vient nous emmerder.
Scientists said
Avery Smith.
drawbridge don't work.
You're right, Avery, but don't worry. I got permission to touch it. That's right. Permission from
The president. Okay. I didn't see nothing.
Hey, Agent York, are you...
Yes, I have to, for the sake of the investigation.
I'm getting kinda scared.
That's a rare word to hear coming from your mouth, Patty. I don't see much in there aside from some overgrown weeds, do you?
No, that's not it. I'm not scared of the weeds. I'm scared of what you'll find, Agent York.
You don't need to worry, Patty. You're my precious assistant, remember? I promise I'll protect you, no matter what happens.
Alors... Est-ce qu'on va voir du coup direct dessous? En fait, j'ai peur de trop avancer dans les quêtes principales et d'être bloqué après pour les secondaires qui me restent à faire. Ouais, bon allez, on va aller voir. De toute façon, normalement, la singularité, on la voit, donc...
Patty, the truth is, when I first saw Okra Boy, the most evil monster I've ever seen, in fact.
A monster?
Oh yes, a demon incarnate who plunged New York City, the Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man.
Dans Ghostbusters.
Marshmallow?
Ghostbusters,
Voilà.
1984, directed by Ivan Reitman. Now that's a film that was filled to the brim with a true masterpiece that boasted an honest depiction of just how frightening a real ghost. Even if you watched it now, I'm sure it would still chill you to the bone. First night I watched it, I was too afraid to go to the bathroom alone. So I made Zach come with me.
Ah, et voilà. Voilà, qu'est-ce que je disais? J'avais peur d'être bloqué. Bah voilà, la porte est refermée derrière moi. Donc j'espère que je vais pouvoir quitter ce lieu. C'était marqué qu'il fallait avancer jusqu'au bout du chemin. J'espère que la singularité n'est pas au bout du chemin. Oula, le ciel devient rouge. Oula, ça pue ça. Il va y avoir une attaque des ombres rouges. Et voilà. J'étais sûr.
Patty, what's that?
That tree? Or the water tower?
That thing I'm pointing at. That.
Like I said, what?
That thing. Right there, Patty.
Just tell me what it is!
Oula, putain, il fait mal. Je crois que je vais avancer sans me préoccuper d'eux. Je la connaissais pas celle-là, d'ombre. Ah non, faut tous les tuer parce qu'il y a une lumière. Et tiens.
Are you?
Qu'est-ce qu'elle veut là, être à genoux? Putain, ah non, bah ça doit être elle en fait qui m'a lancé le truc dessus. Une espèce de tentacule qui m'a touché. Allez, recharge. Il est trop long à recharger, c'est là. C'est elle qui doit m'attaquer là. Quand elle se met comme ça, elle doit attaquer à distance. Il est pas mort. Je fasse gaffe au cadenas, il fait super mal quand il me pète à la gueule. Balle. Normal. Donc c'est pas drôle. Allez. Ah yes. Bon, voilà. Un de moins. Là, il y en a un autre. Il y en a Baltringue. Il est quasiment mort. J'aimerais bien le tuer. Combien de balles? 7 balles. On va peut-être recharger. À moins qu'il y ait des créatures qu'on peut tuer en 2 balles. Là. Ouais, il y a les rampeuses. Je les ai appelées les rampeuses.
yours. I'll show you.
Ouais, c'est quoi ce truc qu'elle me tire dessus là? Allez, cours! Est-ce que je peux la frapper? Pousse-toi, Patricia, tu me gênes! Ah, putain. Ah, quand même. Ah, donc il n'y avait pas besoin de tous les éliminer. Ah, il a perdu de la vie pendant la cinématique. Je me suis fait attaquer pendant la cinématique. C'est génial.
Zach, I think we found a laboratory.
Ouais, c'est le laboratoire de professeur R. Bon, il y a une mallette pour se soigner, donc je vais me soigner. Qu'est-ce que je peux mettre? Ça. Hop. Je vais profiter pour vider, récupérer un peu des trucs dans la mallette. Sac de couchage, j'avais dit que j'avais besoin aussi. Ah mais oui, mais j'en avais plus. Eh oui, ça. Je rachète. Ouais, bah, faire une sauvegarde, ça change pas grand chose. Ah, début d'inspection. Alors, les organes. C'est quoi, un cerveau, un estomac, un poumon?
A research log. No, it looks more like a journal. Look, Zach. This belonged to Lena Doman. A professor to the very end. This book is filled with all sorts of detailed notes. She studied abroad during school, most likely in order to get as far away from her father's prejudice as possible. Abroad, she studied chemistry and fire dynamics, then cultivated the groundwork for Sang Rouge. If what's written in this journal is to be believed, Sang Rouge is a naturally derived substance. That must mean it's something akin to ayahuasca, the hallucinogen found in the Amazon region. But Sang Rouge wasn't actually produced here. It appears that a special environment is necessary to summon the Red Demon. Zach, look at this. It says that when Lena was still known as Lenny, she once fell in love with a woman. She fell in love with her older sister. That matches up with what PJ mentioned just before he died. And apparently, they had a daughter. The Clarkson's family tree is far more complicated than I could have imagined.
Patricia serait sa fille.
Again.
And here it says that the Clarksons' older daughter later fell in love with someone in town and got married. Then she must still be somewhere in this town. Hey, Patty, did you know about all this?
I don't know.
C'est pas une réponse, je sais pas. Soit tu le savais, soit tu le savais pas, c'est tout.
This entry is from right after she became Lena. Zach, what could this mean? A salesman passing through town gave me an epiphany that changed my life. She didn't create
c'est lui
Sang
avec
Rouge
le
until after she
dalmatien.
met this person. And from that point onward, she started fanatically worshipping someone. She also ceases to mention anything more about her older sister, and the word goddess of fertility starts appearing everywhere.
C'est lui là qui était dans le 1. Et puis il parlait d'un ancien général de l'armée, mais c'est lui aussi. C'est lui qui était un ancien général de l'armée, il me semble.
The final entry, written just before she headed to the Clarksons' house. No one can stop my plan, not even me. My only worry now is P. I only pray the fool king can stop him. Zach, it looks like we've uncovered yet another new character. Who's the fool king? This is starting to read like a badly written tragedy. And P. It appears that Lena's worried about whether or not the Fool King will be able to stop our investigation and successfully murder this P character.
P, c'est Patricia?
P. Philip?
Non, Patricia.
Professor.
Je crois qu'il y a quelqu'un derrière toi.
It can't be.
Il vient de comprendre, je pense. Et voilà. Et voilà. Fallait réagir plus vite. Bon, bah, du coup, elle a dû se faire enlever. Ah non, elle est derrière. Ah, on s'est fait enlever, elle et moi, en fait. Parce que c'est pas la pièce où on était avant. Ah, si. D'accord. Alors, j'ai vu ses jambes derrière moi quand je me relevais. Pourquoi elle est plus là? Elle a disparu entre-temps. Ah, l'oracle.
Hi there, Hundan. Long time no see.
A pineapple.
This is definitely your simplest oracle by far.
D'accord, papa. Ouais. L'indice, c'est un ananas.
Patty. Now it all makes sense. Zach, we need to hurry back to the hotel and put all this in order.
Right. Du coup, hop. Alors, du coup, est-ce qu'on peut sortir par le même chemin, je pense. Avec tout est barricadé de partout. Il va falloir prendre l'escalier là-bas. Ah, il n'a pas apprécié que je roule en skate à des endroits un peu trop accidentés. Du coup, ouais, je pense que je vais arrêter là. Comme ça, là, on aura fait une bonne session sur la quête principale. Et puis, quand je reprendrai, je vais me faire une petite session sur les quêtes secondaires. Comme ça, je vais essayer d'alterner comme ça. C'est peut-être plus plaisant pour vous qui regardez, si vous voulez pas regarder les quêtes annexes. Comme ça, vous avez juste à regarder les let's play des parties où je joue les quêtes principales, quoi. Donc voilà. Donc ouais, je vais arrêter là pour aujourd'hui. Et puis on se retrouve très vite sur la chaîne pour la suite des aventures dans ce petit Deadly Premonition 2. Voilà. Allez, bon jeu à tous, amusez-vous bien et puis à la prochaine. Ciao, ciao.